all right. Good evening, everybody. And welcome back to another episode of the Dynasty DM podcast. All right. So today, the topic of discussion is blurred lines in business. Right. So yes. Yeah, I can't wait to get into that conversation. Yeah. But before we do, I have no idea
what the hell she's talking about. Once again,
he just reads the emails and just say, "Yeah, I got it." That's all. You know, I'm like, okay, all right. Well, that's what we're gonna do. Well, that's what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna get into that shortly.
Absolutely.
But before we do, as you guys know, we're gonna introduce my co-host,
yes,
who is, as y'all can see, in the chair, in the building,
live and direct,
not in traffic, nowhere else. You know, behind the cameras, doing sets, doing all the things that he does that y'all don't know about, that y'all might want to know about later. He might tell y'all. We'll see. But but what's up, MJ? What's going on?
Dynasty, thank you so much. You look amazing as usual.
Thank you.
I'm excited about today. It's a great day. Thank you all for the love and the no love. Okay, all right. That's all I got.
That's all you got. All right, and then later on, he's gonna have a public service announcement.
I got a
so y'all stay tuned.
Yes.
Don't touch that dial or that click or mouse or what is it now? Touch the screen.
Yes.
Don't touch. You just don't touch it. Yeah. How about that? So, but to my left, I have a very, 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 very special guest in the building. Somebody that I've been working with for a long time friend. Working as artists, performing, recording, just doing everything we could possibly do in the entertainment world, right. But just always supporting each other. Mm-hmm. I enjoy working with this man over here, Scenic, the Black Star, rapper, producer, 28 Kings Productions, right? Yeah, in entertainment. Yep. So, and we've been keeping it going, coming up, doing what we got to do, managing through the COVID, and he came and joined me on the live stream just recently. We did the live stream, Dynasty live stream show and performance. So if you missed it, check it out on my YouTube channel, and that's Ms. Dynasty Media is my YouTube channel, so y'all can check it out if you missed it, but you get a chance to see Scenic the Black Star and myself performing. Yes. But welcome. I'm so glad that you were able to take the time to stop by and join the conversation today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yes. So tell some folks about Scenic, what's going on, where you started, where you came from, where you been, and y'all missed the story about the monkey on his back. I'm sorry, I don't think we got any footage about that. And I mean a real monkey on his back, okay? Right, a real monkey,
Listen, I'm dead right now. Before the cameras came on, that was just next level. and then there are Rams that are running in apartment complexes. Okay, so we'll get into that later.
Lots of adventures.
Adventure. Yes.
That's the adventures of Scenic the Black Star.
Yes.
Tell y'all a little bit about myself. Originally from New Jersey, and then I left Newark, New Jersey as a child.
Woo!
Went out to California, stayed out in California for a little while, went back to New Jersey again as a child. Like I said, plenty of adventures, plenty of stories during the course of my life. But the thing was, when I went back to New Jersey, just got introduced to hip hop and everything through family, friends, and all that. So I just pretty much just carried that with me, and then learning a lot from my brother. And then I started getting more into the rap side of thing and doing shows and performing and all that with hip hop with my brother and his partner, Bernard B. And my brother's name was Sly Ski. And they had a group named Branded Posse, and that's out in California where we grew up, a little small little hood named Edgemont out there. And, salute to everybody out on the West Coast from Edgemont.
Salute.
And but anyway, I just I was a dancer at the time. I was a dancer and a tagger, graffiti artist, and so those were some of my first elements that I started getting into as far as with hip hop. And I grew up, listening to the more of the conscious music. But of course, growing up on the West Coast, you can't dismiss, the gangster rap and the gangster culture that came up on the West Coast. But as you study the history of gangs in California, you only go back and realize that a lot of it started through social activism, inside of the communities where black people were growing up in. And then a lot of the gangs, what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the violence that was being directed toward the black community was actually being eliminated by a lot of the gangs that were in California. Because even in the 80s, there was a lot of white gangs at the time. You know, and people was listening to heavy metal and rock and all this stuff. But then NWA and a lot of the gangster rap start coming out, and brothers start getting a little bit more heart and start willing to do a lot of things that the white gangs would not do. And so that kind of eradicated a lot of the gang activity from the white communities in California. And so anyway, pushing forward, you know, just that's part of the culture that I grew up in, and then learning about, you know, the Black Panthers. And then later on, as I grew up, I didn't grow up with my dad. I found out he was a Black Panther as well, you know, and he was a social activist, and, you know, at the same time had a construction workers business, and he was also a trainer in boxing. So he trained all the hood brothers, and this was in Newark, New Jersey, though. So he trained all the brothers that came up in the hood. So a lot of stuff that I found out about him later, I had a lot of those different aspects in me, especially dealing with social activism. And so just growing up in hip-hop, getting back on my music and everything, just that kind of came naturally, me talking about a lot of the things that we're dealing with in society and everything. So, but just my name, Scenic the Black Star, as I began to grow and learn more about myself, I realized there was just a lot of different angles to myself. So I just named myself Scenic, S-E-E-N-I-C, instead of S-C-E-E, excuse me, S-E-E-N-I-C. Two E's, no C, right? So anyway, like I said, I should do graffiti, and then at the same time, we used to be taggers, and the irony of being a tagger in California is a little bit different because the taggers come up with the gangbangers. Okay, so it's a lot of gang activity going on with the taggers too. So you can't just tag and say, "Hey, I'm not gangbanging."
What is a tagger?
You know, it didn't work like that.
You got to tell me, because some of us probably don't know. But what is a tagger?
A tagger is basically they're supposed to be graffiti artists, but some of them may not be graffiti artists. They just have their crew, and then they just go around and they spray painting their name on the wall, you know, little murals on the wall or whatever. But the idea is to be up in other people's neighborhood and put your name on the wall and stuff like that. So with that being said, you know, you going in neighborhoods that have a lot of gang activity, right? You know, and you putting your name on a rival tagger crew or gangs, you know, on the wall in their neighborhood, so you liable to get into some gangster stuff, you know. So the thing was, the taggers didn't have to necessarily be gangbangers, but they had gangbanging friends. You know, so that's where it got a little tricky. So now if you ran into, you know, a rival tagger, but he was with his gangbanging friends, you know, and y'all two got into a fight, they not gonna just let him fight you by himself. So it's gonna be you, him, and these gangsters. So now when the gangsters start seeing you by themselves, it's like, oh, we got beef with him. So now you started off, you had beef with some taggers, but now you got beef with some gangsters too. So now the taggers, because of that, now the taggers are running around with guns too. So now the tagging crews start turning into gangs too. So you had Crips, Bloods, and taggers at the same time. And then you had Mexican gangs, and you had Asian gangs, and you had smaller white gangs, then you had Samoan gangs, you know? And so it started getting blurry, as what we're going to talk about later. The lines start getting a little blurry between who was a gangster and who was a tagger. Right? So then did they taggers just start joining the gangs.
Right, so did one tagging gang have red spray paint and the other tagging gang have blue spray paint?
No.
Did they have rainbow colors and shit? Like, what the fuck?
Definitely no rainbows.
Like, how you fighting as you know, with spray paint and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, or goddamn, what this markers? The little black markers and shit.
And we used to use those, the little paint markers.
There you go.
Yeah, we used to use those too.
Wow, I just learned something. I had no idea it was the tagging gang.
Yeah, like I said, the tagging crews became gangs, and then, you know, I didn't start off, you know, knowing that it existed like that until I got into it. Because to me, I was doing the hip hop stuff. I had my folder full of all my graffiti, my murals and stuff that I wanted to put on the wall and all that. And then we was dancers and all that. You know, and then found out 2 or 3 of us was taggers. right? And then found out this tagging crew got beef with this tagging crew.
Oh,
wow.
So then next thing
This
you
was
know,
all
we
in
fight.
Jersey or this was in LA?
This was actually in California.
Okay.
Yeah, and not necessarily LA, but this is there's a city out there or area called the Inland Empire, which is the IE.
Okay.
And everybody, and historically, the gangs in the Inland Empire had beef with the gangs in Los Angeles.
Okay.
When you go way back. And so they got this thing in California called on site. And so that means when we see you at no words, it's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down. So y'all would dance.
So let me get
this. So y'all would dance, tag each other, and shoot each other all at the same fucking time.
I ain't saying I did it.
Oh, okay.
Because
you was a dancer.
I did it.
Oh,
Now, I
right.
did some
You
fighting.
ain't incriminating yourself.
Yeah, I did
I'm
some
just saying,
fighting.
all that's a lot. That's an entertaining situation. If I was
Yeah, it
around
is.
as an observer,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to see a whole situation. I'm going to see y'all fucking graffiti first,
right.
and then I'm going to see you dance,
Yeah.
break dance, and then pop each
And
other.
then somebody
Goddamn,
get
that means
popped.
just get some popcorn in this motherfucker.
You'll see all of it.
That's like, what's the name of that movie? The Jets and the Sharks and shit. Remember that? When you're a jet, West Side Story. When you're a jet, you're a jet.
There you go.
Oh,
There
shut
you
up.
go. It's a reason why I'm telling y'all all of this.
No.
Yeah.
I respect it. I'm just learning this shit. 'Cause that's a lot.
Absolutely.
That's a lot. For you to be, okay, so you're a tagger, but then now you got to be a gangster.
Now you don't have no choice.
And you a dancer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
goddamn. I mean, what the
Yeah.
fuck, nigga? That's a lot. Shit.
I mean, 'cause you couldn't really just walk away from it because
Absolutely.
these people you just got done
So
fighting
however way he
don't care.
Right.
Don't
so
care
however
that
way
you
he
walked away
approach
from
you
it.
is how you come. So he could come like this, breaking first, like fuck you, nigga. And then you don't want to shoot him first. You like, okay, nigga, I'm gonna pop lock your ass
Yeah.
first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's a lot.
But to be real, like you saying, literally speaking.
Literally speaking.
I've had times where me and some of my partners, it was a battle rap, right?
There you go.
These guys was gangster rappers, but some of my friends was gangsters, but wasn't necessarily gangster rappers.
Gotcha.
But so they come to the party that we might throw, and then here come the gangsters. The gangsters always have this idea that they was harder than the hip hoppers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So here they come to the party. They want to battle rap, and I'm like, oh, here we go, because we already know where this is gonna go.
You know it's
So it start off rapping, then it turned into a fist fight, then it turned into a shootout. Literally in that order: rapping, fist fight, shootout.
wow.
In that order.
That's a lot.
So yeah, so that was the environment
Okay.
that I grew up in.
Gotcha.
So my point is, in saying all that, as you listen to my music, you'll hear a little bit of everything, and then mixed with my spirituality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm very big on spirituality. And I
You
do
religious
believe-
or you spiritual?
I'm spiritual.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual.
Okay.
Now, that word religion comes up a lot.
Right.
And so when you study that word religion, you have to really understand what that means in its true context. I understand it has been given, a black eye in the society that we live in
Right.
because of what we call religion. But as you read into scripture, scripture says that if you want to really call yourself religious, then you're the type of person that when there's a widow, you'll go and help her out at her house. When there's somebody that's homeless, you'll go help somebody that's homeless. Or if there's a child that's a bastard, don't have a father, then you'll go and help take care of the needs of that child. So when you're looking at being religious in its true sense, that's the type of character that you have. But of course, as time progresses, right, the context of words that have been used historically begin to change.
Okay.
Right? So now the way that they use religion at that time is not the way that we look at it today.
Gotcha.
So when somebody asks me, are you religious? I understand them.
Gotcha.
And so I will say no.
Right.
Because every
In
time
this
I don't
time,
have to
in this
explain.
time.
Well, back in 1645, religion meant this.
Right.
I get you, so I say spiritual.
Gotcha.
I say spiritual.
I'm spiritual too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not religious.
Okay, that's good.
Based on what today's religious person is. But I will go help a person out and all that too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I just learning
Like
that
you was
just
gonna
now.
say
Yeah.
by brand success coach. You was
I
on the- you was on the
I was
road
going.
with
Yeah, I
that
was going to help somebody
last
out
time,
today.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
You didn't
I
go
was.
damsel in distress. You was gonna go save her.
I was.
Yeah,
Because real talk,
that's what I'm talking
you're
about.
not even spiritual if you don't do those things.
I believe that.
Whoa,
I
there you
believe
go,
that.
brother.
I believe
Spiritual
that.
if
There
don't
you
do
go.
those
I
Well,
believe that.
well,
I believe
well.
that. I believe
Right.
that.
There you
I
go.
believe
Well,
that.
well,
Amen.
well.
Right.
I love it.
So I gotta talk about you know, and I'm glad you brought it around
Yeah.
to your music because I've heard a lot of your stuff and I
Right.
love the lyrics and the content and,
Right.
and where you go deep, you know. And you know, one of my favorites, which I think needs to be shined out and people need to hear it. And I'm gonna attach the link if you have a link for me for the
Right.
song. And you know, one of my favorite songs is A Lot Going On.
A lot going on.
You
Okay,
know,
yeah.
and
I'll
that,
bring
for
out.
this time
All right.
too, and what's going on,
Right.
it's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
You know, and that song, that message,
Right. It's
Check him
powerful.
out. A lot going on.
yeah, a lot
Powerful.
going on.
So yeah, that song right there was created. We were just online
Listen,
and we found this producer. We found this producer from the
we do.
UK, and his name was Dream Life.
Yeah.
And we found a couple of his beats, and then one was a dance song, like a summertime song, and we just named it Dream Life. And then the other track that we found was called A Lot Going On. And then there's this artist out here in Atlanta. His name is JC, and actually he used to work for Bad Boy as a songwriter. And he has a couple albums out right now, and he has a song on World Star right now. I believe they got over 2 million views.
Awesome.
Right now. Now, like I said, the name of his record label is called Number 2 Pencil. But I was going to a church with him, and him and his wife had put a pop album out, and it was hot. I don't even listen to that type of music, but I enjoyed it. And so I heard his music, and I told him, hey, man, you got to do some music sometime. He said, all right, cool. So a couple years had went by, and then finally I found this beat, and I thought about it. I said, JC, I could hear him on it. So I called him up, and I said, hey, remember what we discussed? He said, yeah. I said, I think I got something for us. He said, all right, send it to me. Sent him the beat. He said, yeah, I like that. And he sent me the song back, and he labeled the song "It's a Lot Going On."
Yeah.
He's just talking about
Yeah.
everything that we're seeing
Yeah.
on the news and everything that we're going through today in society.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they in the song, you know, he's talking about the arrogance and the racism of the
Yeah.
presidency
Yeah.
right now and everything
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on, and just a lot of the crime and
Yeah.
just whatever's going on. So I had two other friends too that we jumped on the song. One of them actually is my producer who produces most of my songs. I got a song coming out with him. Pretty soon we'll be dropping the video, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And that song is called Showing Out, but his name is Be Busy. He opens up the song, you know, auto-tune type singing, you know, and then he's talking about a lot of the crime and everything going on. And then the second verse is another brother that's from Atlanta. He talking about a lot of his personal struggles, what he has going on in his personal life, just struggling with his relationship with God.
Okay.
So it was like we covered 3 different aspects on the verses. The last verse I covered, I said, okay, because I got to listen to what they were, with the direction they were going in. So on my voice, I switched it up a little bit, and I just put myself in the shoes of the black man of today. And I said, well, what is the black man of today struggling with? Because I see we have money now.
Yeah.
You know, so we
Yeah.
have money, we have nice houses, we have cars, and excuse me. Yeah, I see we have we got money, we got nice houses and cars and things of that nature, but it's that one thing that we still struggling with to this day, which is our relationship with our woman.
Hello.
You know what I
Hallelujah.
mean?
Wow.
Indeed.
And
Yeah.
so
Preach.
it's a lot
You go to
going on
church
there.
now.
Would you agree?
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and so what I cover in my song, you know, I said, scenic banging, I'm game changing, organizing like a black mason with a black car, but I go hard, getting lost in that temptation. Fast
Yes,
chicks, fast
yes,
whips,
yes.
computer love at my fingertips. A cold
Okay.
love got me ice cold. These fast chicks in a fast whip. You see?
All right.
Right.
I'm talking about, right.
So I wanted to cover that.
Right, yeah. How we doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
okay.
got
So
that.
I wanted to cover
Yeah.
that because now that we got
I'm
money
feeling
and
that.
stuff, we
Yeah.
looking good, and,
Right.
and men typically flock to women. You know, when we at our highest, or either they typically flock to us.
That's
right?
true.
When us- So that's a struggle that we have, but that's one of those things that we have to overcome on the road to self mastery.
Oh, on the road to self-mastery.
On the road to self-mastery.
Why I felt like when he said that, it should have been like a Chinese
But
gong,
you know
like,
what?
like
and
a sensei shit or some shit just
I'm
happened.
loving this,
been called him up.
especially
Yeah, like
I'm
when he
loving
said that
this.
road to self-mastery.
Right, exactly. Especially
What
coming
the fuck
from
just
a
happened?
man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and that was one of the things
just
that
happened?
one of my a colleague of mine that is into film and theater,
Yeah.
and he has an organization, Kings Celebrating Queens.
Yeah.
And I think that it's up to us to kind of change the narrative of what's going on.
Exactly.
You know, and get back to just, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and she was saying how in her relationship, and she was telling me about a previous relationship that didn't go well because of the outside influences, and how, you know, men stop, you know, and women do too, but, you know, we're talking about men right now in terms of, like you just said, I mean, you just summed it up in that verse.
Yes.
You know, talking about the other distractions and whatnot, how we not celebrating that woman that you got, you missing what you got at home. I had somebody even staying that was here, said that they're not valuing what they have at home. What is going on that now you get all of this, you know, or even that woman was there with you through that struggle
Right.
before you got to this, you know, but you got somebody at home, that one that got your back,
Right.
you know, and then you go out here because this one is cute and they doing, and they, wait a minute, but what about, why you not valuing what you have at home?
Right.
I don't understand. You know, I mean, distractions and temptations always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you got a queen, a real queen at home, you need to respect her and value that queen that you got at home. And I think that it's being lost. And it's not just our fault. It's some women out here that it's their fault too.
Yeah.
You know, and how we are treating ourselves and not respecting ourselves. Like, I have a problem with some of the things that's going on when all you identify yourself is as the WAP. Okay,
Right,
let's not
right.
go there, because I got some segments coming.
Oh,
Some people may
absolutely.
not
Did
like
y'all
what
see
I
how
got
she
to
did
say.
like this? That shit coming out, ain't it?
Yeah.
But it's coming.
She was like this.
Oh, it's coming.
She did the WAP on the WAP.
Okay.
Did you see that? See how she
Oh,
broke
it
that
is
down?
coming. Oh, it is coming.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
segment is
But,
coming.
oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. Trust me, it's
Yeah,
coming.
and then, you
She
know,
was
and,
like
I,
this.
and I covered that in the song too, toward the end. You know, it's like, you know, and he ended up sacrificing. You end up sacrificing that relationship for this other stuff that's going on out here.
Exactly.
You know, but that's a lot going on in a man's life right there when he can't overcome his struggles.
Exactly.
You know, to be his best self.
Exactly.
You know, and these are all three of those verses was different aspects of what we dealing
Wow.
with out here. And you constantly hear a lot of people all the time say, man, it's a lot going on. And so it's a popular phrase that hasn't necessarily been coined yet.
Yes.
And so I was happy when he labeled that song A Lot Going
You
On.
gotta hear that song.
Because it
That
is
song
a lot
is hot.
going on.
When I tell you that song is hot, it's not just a message.
Yeah, the verse he just did was hot.
song is
Yeah.
hot. It's
Fast
hot.
chicks
I'm saying
and
when it
fast
comes on,
whips.
and I think I have it loaded in my car. So
Yeah,
you know, we
yeah.
leave today and get a chance. You know, if y'all want to hear it, but it's a hot song.
Yes,
it is, and
yes,
I will
it's
share
one
the
of my
link if you
favorites.
got a link
Do
for it
fast
for
chicks
me.
like
But,
slow whips?
I know we got to get to. I know we got to
I'm
get
just
to the
asking
DM
questions.
topic of discussion, but
right.
also I want to put out there, you know, I would love for you to be there on November 15th when I do the Friends and Family at Cat's Cafe. It's
yeah,
going to be a
absolutely.
Friends and Family happy hour. It's going to be November 14th. I think we're going to have maybe some things talked about. We might have some conversation in there. I think so it'll be the right people in the room
Right.
to start having these conversations, and
Absolutely.
people can't be afraid of these conversations.
Right.
Because I think some people are, because of what the trends and what the environment is saying, you know, and I'm just not one of the people that's afraid of it, you know, and,
Right,
I know
absolutely.
I'm surrounded by people who keep it 1,000.
Right.
1,000.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But getting back to the blurred
1,000?
lines in business, you know,
Blurred lines in business.
yes,
Is that what we're
blurred
talking
lines
about?
in business. So
All right.
what I'm talking about is keeping it 1,000.
Keeping it 1,000.
Again, keeping it 1,000.
1,000.
You know, we're in business and we're all in the entertainment business. So I'm sure that, you know, at some point or another that we may have come across people that we're trying to do business with, and maybe the lines get a little skewed or blurred, you
Okay.
know, in terms of what the real intent is.
Yes.
You know, is this person really interested in me in my business? Or are they more interested in me in the personal? You know, and nowadays it seems like the lines are really getting blurred. And especially when it comes to relationships too, you know, in terms of, you know, say I meet a dude and I got a man and I'm really strictly doing business, and you're gonna meet people who you're attracted to, you know, who are attractive.
There
you know,
you go.
not necessarily you're attracted to them, but they're attractive. You may find them attractive, you know, and you know,
Short and sweet.
are you keeping it under the confines of business, or are you telling your mate, oh well, you know, that's just, you know, we just doing business together, but y'all texting and giggling and y'all calling each other, and it ain't about business, or y'all meeting and y'all having dinner and all that kind of stuff, but it ain't about business.
it's not business
and my
partner.
thing is like, let's stay true to self now. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. You know, are you really, you know, I meet men in all the business that I do that are attractive men, but I might be saying, golly, he's attractive, but I'm respecting this man because we're doing business together, and we may not never ever have that conversation.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, you may meet somebody where there's a mutual thing. Maybe you're single, she's single, and you know, you're attractive, she's attracted, and then maybe something comes of that. You know, but I think nowadays it's so much blurring of the lines. You know,
Right,
so what would you say? You guys, have you had that experience? I'm sure you have. You know, you guys are attractive men, so I'm sure you have come across
Appreciate
those
that.
things where, where they have had that.
I'm always gonna let the guest.
Okay.
Oh,
Say
wait,
it
see, we
first.
let our guest goes first.
Guest
All
goes
right.
first.
I mean, me personally, I got so many stories over there.
oh shit!
Over your
All right,
journey,
Over my
strap
journey.
in.
pick
strap
out the one
in
that
your-
stands out the most to you.
Let's talk
Okay.
about the monkey on the back. Okay.
And how do you handle it? You know, and how
I'll
you
tell
handle it.
And everything does not always end well.
Oh, you're
You
right.
know, that's what we
yeah,
have
you're
to
right.
understand,
You're right.
you know.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you know,
you
everything
might
doesn't
have
always
to
end
just
well.
burn that bridge.
Right.
You know, I've
So-
had to do it. You know.
And, you know, you got the corporate side of life, and then you got the business side. I've had management, somebody who was managing me, and then I could kind of tell, you know, that they was into me. But what I had to do
Female
in my
manager,
mind,
right? Female
Yeah.
manager.
Yeah. What I had to do in my mind was,
But nowadays could be, you know. I mean, because that don't mean he interested. It just mean they was interested.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
but me personally, I try to put my money first.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
okay, this person might be opening a whole bunch of doors for me.
Right.
You know, but then they want to be in a relationship with me.
Right.
So then I have to remember 9 times out of 10, yeah, you can handle me as long as me and you aren't dealing with each other.
Exactly.
Right.
But as soon as we start getting intimate or anything with each other, and then I'm over here talking to these same people I was talking to last week when we wasn't,
Yeah.
now it's a problem.
whole different
You know,
story.
now you popping up over my shoulder every conversation that I got, you know, it's like I got another head right here on this shoulder.
Oh wow.
Every time I start talking, the head pop out, you know. Who's this? Like, this the same person that you introduced me to last week.
Right.
You know, so it starts doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, but she may have introduced me to these people opening these doors for me.
Right.
So I got to remember, now, if I insult her to a certain degree and she say I'm out, potentially I may lose these relationships
That's
and these
right.
doors and stuff
So
too.
it's a- it's a-
So
it's
it's safer to not
Not do it.
engage
Yep.
in that relationship
Yep.
than
Yep.
it is to engage
Yes.
with her and then
Yes.
follow her rules.
Yes.
Because
Right.
that's
Yes.
what you're going to
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna
Let's
do.
be clear.
And even when the shoes on the other side, with a woman and a man, and he's opening up doors for her. It's like once you engage in that relationship, whoever the one that's opening up doors for the other one, you have to follow. If you insult them, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you potentially may be blackballed.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and we see it all the time
Yeah,
in the
we do.
industry, right?
Right.
We
We
do.
see it all the time. We see it in corporate and in, you know, the entertainment arena, which is where we're in. Now, there was a time in my past, just going on a corporate side, where I got into a relationship with one of my managers, you know, and we hid it for a long time. You know, I was actually her assistant. And at first I was, you know, pushing it away, but she was very, very attractive. Guys all the time was coming after her, but I was always about my money and I was just pushing her away. But she just ended up, you know, finding this way to just
What
get
happened
me, you know,
was,
bringing
yeah.
me into her personal life. Hey, after work today, I got these boxes.
Yeah. Oh,
You
wow.
know,
See,
they need to be put in storage, or later on today, my son needs a haircut.
See, that's when
and
you
I was
know.
gonna cook.
Blurred lines.
You
blurred lines.
Right, gotcha.
They ain't got nothing to do with
Gotcha.
business.
Haircut.
They ain't got nothing to do with business. Nothing to do with business.
So for a long time, I was like,
Gotcha.
nah, I ain't going for that one. I ain't going. But then it started turning into, so-and-so said they not coming in tonight. Can you come get? So, well, the buses ain't running right now, and I don't have no car. Well, I'll come get you.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
See?
oh.
So I'm like, well, I could
come
make
get-
the money.
the come get plan.
But how it happened was, it's just you start spending too much time by accident. By accident, but also at the same time, you never know what's in that person's mind. Because remember, how she was used to everybody coming after her, but me.
Right.
So that intrigued her a little bit, you know.
Right.
She started getting intrigued by that and feeling like, oh, he cool. I could just be around him.
Right.
But that coolness that I may have had may have been what was attractive to her.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She might have just thought it was cool.
You wasn't on the other side of that. Like, you a real guy.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
once she realized, oh, he a real man too.
Right.
Because, they have friends that okay.
Right.
I'm going to keep it 1,000.
Go
Y'all
ahead.
ready for this
Go
game?
ahead, 1,000.
All right, so every woman don't serve the same purpose. Everybody hear that, gentlemen out there? When I teach my sons, when you deal with a woman, deal with her as an individual and not as a something like an item or like, okay, well, she's attractive, even if she's in your field. Every woman you don't want to have sex with in this world. So if you're dealing with, like, I'm in film and television, I meet women every single day.
Right.
I know many, many women.
Right.
All right, so at the end of the day, it would behoove me to be with each one of these women who think that I'm attractive, or that I might think that's attractive. Like, oh wow. So what I do is I just handle them accordingly. Like, I keep it 1,000 at all times. I let people know what it is up front, and then that's it. Like, you really have to show me value, like, beyond what I'm already dealing with, for me to just, because that's really what it boils down to. We talk about lust. We're not talking about value in this person's mind.
Exactly.
We're not talking about value in what you said, which is like a manager who can actually bring more change in your pocket or a bag in your pocket. We're not talking about that. We just really talk about lust.
But do you keep that person in terms of the blurring of the lines?
Right.
Do you keep them in the space of business?
Absolutely.
And then, and that's that, and not allow them to do stuff like you say, hey, because you're a guy, and, play the damsel in distress, because that's what they like to do.
What it was.
Right.
That's what they do. She could have got them boxes done. You know what I'm saying? But she wanted you to do it.
You want to be, listen, you want to be accessible, where it's going to put you in a better position with this person, or
for business.
For business, right?
Exactly.
I'm around too. I'm an alpha. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. So I run my own reality. Mm-hmm. No one runs my reality but me.
That's right.
When I walk in a room, I run the room the way I want it to be ran.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So no one can lustfully influence me to do anything.
Right.
That's on me. That's my reality.
Right.
I create that.
Yeah.
So if you stand up, and they know once that happens, they're like, oh wow. Now they are, like you said, attracted to that too. So they're like, God damn, this motherfucker fine.
Right.
He a real ass nigga. He keep it 1,000. So I want him. Ooh.
Yeah.
And I was taught as a young man, women know they want you before you even walk in a room. I learned that from women. Women taught me, okay, so you walk in a crowded room and a woman see you first, she already has sex with you in her head before you even approached her.
Yeah.
She already got creamy in the pants and we'll get all of that bullshit. Oh yeah, absolutely.
We know.
We know. Anyway, the point is, but then
I'm different. I'm different.
Yeah, you're right. But then what? Check this out. So then when you meet her and you talking to her and you like, hey, how you doing? Well, listen, okay, so I'm in film and television, so she could be a producer or own her own studio. I need a studio. I need to be working with this person, right? So for me personally, if it was an attraction initially, now I'm in the head. Now I'm, like you said, I'm check chasing now. Because that's my motivation.
Yeah.
It's really not. So then once we do establish, well, okay, well, come on over to the studio. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. It's at that moment, it's a fine line. I think we all have encountered it in our life. You know when it goes just a little bit more than it's supposed to be. You know that. You know when you, like, okay, if you go to hug, it's the side hug first. If it's a full hug, then it's a long time hug.
Yeah.
These are things that you pick up on. So
The breast press.
right.
Yeah.
So you
breast press.
right. So you eliminate
That's true. That's true.
right. So you eliminate that by continuing the side hug.
Yeah.
See, you force yourself in the friend zone.
That's right.
That's what you
That's
have to do. You
That's
can
right.
force yourself there.
Yeah.
If you put yourself in a way where, oh well, he seemed available, then of course you're gonna get that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People
'cause then you
go.
open
So every
yourself up
woman
to
don't
it.
serve the same purpose. That's really what it boils down to.
Right,
I
right.
have a tremendous amount of respect for women in every aspect because they are. We are we created everything, right? We know this, but they born human race, the black woman. If we talking about just black women or women, they are the reason why we're even here.
Hello.
Why everybody is here.
Right. So at the end of the day, I have to look at this person like that and understand their value, not as a person.
Right.
Me, here's a perfect example. Me and Miss Dynasty met. We have a business relationship.
Right.
I initially told her my intention, straight up 1,000, and I followed through.
Yeah. You did.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then that's it. So now she'll say, "Hey, MJ, I'm doing this podcast."
Yeah.
Damn, Dynasty, you know goddamn well I don't do no podcast. But no, you can come down. All right, I'll come down. Now I'm feeling it a little bit, but guess what that did? It allowed me a platform now to speak about a product that I can put out here. So see how they each one teach one?
Right.
And has never violated our situation. Our social media guru is the same way. I met her, but we have a business relationship.
Right.
And both of these women are fine as hell. Right. You understand? But we understand. And I will, if she comes and says, MJ, I need your help with this, that's exactly what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be.
It's also a mutual respect because you're dealing with two women who, one, we know that you're involved in, a situation or whatever it is. But, the bottom line is it's a mutual respect. To say, hey, we ain't gonna just come at you, you know what I mean? Or like some women do, like, oh, so what? I know you got women, they just constantly at you and aggressive and all that, that's what I'm saying. So you got a mutual respect there that, you gonna be around some attractive. I don't even have no respect for a woman
that come at you like that.
Exactly.
That's thirsty.
And you think pretty much they do that with anybody. You know what I mean? That's what I would think. If it's just somebody you just... You know what I mean? If you do that just because you saw somebody look good to you, you just go at them, constantly or trying to break up their situation. Like, to me, then you don't respect me because you want to put me in some drama or some turmoil. Right. You're not respecting me or my relationship, whatever my situation is. If I told you about it, then obviously it's important to me. Right. So respect that. It's different if you're single and they're single and then there's some type of mutual interest, but again, you got to worry about, like you said, if it goes south. Yeah. If it goes south, now where we at? Are you going to be able to handle the fact that it went south, but we're still doing business? And a lot of people can't.
And the two are tied together. That's what people got to realize is if you do this could mess your money up.
Absolutely.
And we have all these examples out here in society right now. I mean, I bet you Bill Cosby didn't know what he did 30 years ago.
Oh my gosh! We'll come back to bite him and ruin his whole legacy.
We're gonna just call them party poppers.
What was that? Spanish Fly. Spanish Fly is what it was.
Was gonna haunt him 30 years later.
Man,
we know the reality of it is that's how they party back then. Right. But unfortunately, at that particular time, later on in their latter years, the women could come back and say, I didn't really even know what that was, and he convinced me, even though you voluntarily took it
and put it in your own
You could say,
mouth.
I was manipulated. So these are examples of how, these
That
little
can just-
innocent situations that you thought was just cool to do, mixing business with pleasure like that.
Women are too. It's
knock
too
your
many
kingdom
of them.
over, you know?
And first of all, it's too many women in high positions now. First of all, in boss lady positions that you won't have to encounter. You're gonna have to encounter them somehow, some way.
yeah.
So you can't, as a man, and I'm just giving advice. You can't be a gigolo.
Right.
Like
You can't
I
just-
told I have sons, right? So I tell my sons, bro, you can't have sex with these women
Everybody,
thinking
yeah.
that this is going to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is that young lady that you meet in college could become a judge.
That's right.
And then later down the line, karma is if you mistreat her,
is.
you're in front of her now.
Yes.
And you don't want to see a woman scorned.
No,
you don't know. You a young boy, but you don't understand a woman scorned till you're 50 like me.
Right.
A woman scorned, especially a black woman, is not the type of person you really,
Nah, it's
especially
not.
sitting in front of her as a judge, if she's a judge. So listen, treat every woman with respect. Let them be honest, and she'll tell you this straight up. Keep it 1,000
Keep it 1,000.
from the door. To tell the people, that is the best advice I can tell people. Keep it 1,000. If you meet a woman, she's attractive, and she like you, you tell her your situation.
Yeah.
That's on her. If she feels a certain way, if she want to do whatever. Most of the time, and I will say this, that has happened to me, and I tell people what my deal is, and know what they say? Thank you so much for being honest with me.
Right.
They tell me that straight up because I'm the same person I'm standing in front of you. I do not have time to lie. So I'm going to tell you what's going on and let you work it out yourself. Exactly. My situation is going to be the same whether you walk off or not.
Right.
But I still want to do business with you.
Right.
You said
Exactly.
I still want to get the check with you.
Yeah.
I didn't say my situation was going to stop us from getting money.
Check, that's
I
right.
just said
That's
we
right.
just can't move in another direction.
Yeah,
Right.
one
You know
thing
what I'm
I
saying?
noticed when I moved to Atlanta too, I noticed how many of the sisters was in positions of power.
That's what I'm
here
saying.
in Atlanta.
It's
so
a
I
bunch
was
of them.
calling back home, telling them, I'm like, bruh, the sisters run Atlanta out here.
Yes.
So you come out here talking crazy if you want to.
Bro, they got
I don't know
all the
what you
houses.
think you gonna get.
Listen, they got all the houses. They got all the cars.
Yeah,
they
they
running
got
things
all
out
the
here.
doors. They got
Yeah.
all the doors.
They running
They
things.
are the
Yeah.
gate.
Yeah.
You know?
right.
Well,
As we got, I know this is, the conversation is great as always, guys. But
Always
we got to bring it around
Yeah.
because we have our marketing moment, and I got the signal earlier, but we kept going.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. But
Yeah.
we
Next
got
time,
Miss
if y'all
Drummond.
give it a signal, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop this shit. I'll put an end to it.
Gonna do a bell, but we got our.
Whoa! Hold on, we got some.
yes, we did
Hold on,
the
I got to give a beatbox order.
There you go.
All right.
We
She got it.
brand success coach in for our marketing moment before we wrap up as usual. You guys, we
usual.
got to get our tips in.
Tips
and
in.
then
Right.
again, take it away, Miss Drummond. So we
Okay,
can find
short
out
and sweet.
Short
how
and
we
sweet.
like it.
Short and sweet.
All right, since we're talking about blurred lines, hold on, let me get close to my mic.
Oh, that's my boyfriend.
Watch it now. Stroke that mic.
Y'all trying to turn this into a whole nother thing. Anyway.
All right, so just keep it professional.
Keep it professional.
Keep it professional. You already know that if you provide great customer service, right? What happens is your customers will go out there and give you more business.
Correct.
But great customer service don't mean you flirt with all your customers.
Right. So we're back like blurred lines and
Blurred
business.
lines.
Yeah.
You do not keep it professional, like you said. You want that bag? Don't
Keep it
blur
focused
the
on
line.
that. Yeah.
Focus on business. Whether or not they want to fake and spend more time with you, be like, listen, these are my hours.
Right.
And you can call me within these business hours.
Right. That's
Anything
right.
after that is
That's
blurred
right.
lines.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
Right. That's right.
I
Some
agree.
business close at a certain time. So they can't, your customers can't have full access to you like that.
No.
Because then that's how the
Absolutely not.
lines get blurred. So keep it professional and offer great customer service, but don't pimp yourself for that bag.
All right, then. All right. We don't want a whole bag.
Yeah, so that old white customer I got, I can't you flirt with him. That's what you're trying to say?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
I
can't.
won't.
No.
I won't flirt with my old
professional.
white customer that I have.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work.
I think that's great advice, and it ties into what we're talking about because you just want to make sure you keep everything 1,000.
1,000.
You know, and make sure that because it can backfire on you
Yes.
too. You want to make sure you keep everybody, and it does start with setting the parameters. I
Yeah.
think, like you said, making sure that the
Get those boundaries.
You only call me at a certain time.
Right.
We're not going to be trading like personal text messages and things of that nature. And when you call me, it is truthfully about business. You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
and you do have rapport. You know. And a lot of our businesses are relationship driven, but again, it's nothing wrong with saying how was your holiday weekend? You know that's building a rapport. Those
Right.
are just those casual conversations that you kind of just
Right.
naturally evolve into in business, but you keep it again, where it's not going too deep into
Right.
personal business.
Right.
Because then it could really switch. Like, hey there, why don't you let me cook for you? Come on over. You know, that's too much.
I was looking at it
Or
from the
when you gonna
perspective
take me
of-
out?
Right.
You know.
I was looking at it from the perspective of, how it could ruin your business. Say if
Absolutely.
it was a man and he was just selling purses, right, and he meets this woman, she buys, let's say, 2-3 purses, and then he gets involved with her. Well, he didn't know she might run a woman's organization,
Right.
right? Where she could have went and these could have all been potential clients, but he got involved with her. Now she's afraid that
Right.
if she bring these
He's
women
gonna-
around,
yeah,
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
start
try
to deal with
Exactly.
them.
Exactly.
Because this is how he gets women.
There's no boundaries,
Yeah,
right?
this is how he
Right.
gets women, and she might pick that up and say, "Nah, I'm not bringing them
Right.
around." So now you done lost
done
all
lost
those
business.
clients, you
Yep.
know, and got blocked right there. So
Exactly.
put that money first.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's your business tip, and Miss Tamiko, where can they find you?
All right. My name is Tamiko Drummond, and you can find me at brandsuccesscoach.com. Follow me on IG at brandsuccesscoach. And my business tagline is, once you choose us, they will never stop talking about you.
Never
All
stop
right,
talking
now.
about you.
All righty, and Scenic
Scenic.
in the building.
In
Tell
the
the folks
building.
where they can find you, what they can expect next, and also you gotta share that link to me for your song. A lot going on.
Right.
Trust me, you guys will enjoy the message and the music.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Scenic the Black Star. You can find me at Scenic the Black Star on YouTube, or you can find me on Twitter as at Scenic1, and you can also find me on let me see what else we got. Instagram. You can find me on Instagram Scenic1, as well as my my social group. Which is called Boycott as a Culture. So we got T-shirts and all that stuff. That's just my political activism
Nice.
group that I have here, and I do
Awesome.
little meetings and stuff on the weekend. I do teachings and little
Awesome.
classes on Zoom
Awesome.
and stuff,
Awesome.
and just to help people learn about group economics in the Black community. And so the name of the class is climbing through a crisis. So just basically teaching people how to focus on their economics and not on everything that's going on around you, because that's what they want right now, is for you to take your mind off of your focus and what you're doing. You know, they basically just a bunch of dogs running up and down a fence barking at you, but if you just stay focused on what you're doing and keep climbing through the crisis that you see around
Yeah.
you, then you'll be all right.
Okay.
You know, so that's what we're doing right now.
Awesome.
Facebook, you can find me at Scenic the Black Star as well. So
Awesome. And MJ, are you ready for your public service announcement?
PSA announcement.
okay,
Okay.
please.
So
All right.
drum roll, please. Elite, not elite, like the ghetto shit. Elite Productions LLC is now launching the custom-made sanitation station for your home or business. We can customize a sanitation station. The sanitation station applications, we have an automatic dispenser with the gel. We could do Clorox wipes. We could do paper towels. We could do gloves, masks, whatever you would like. We could also put your logo on it. Make it look whatever your business is. The best part is it's a rental. We have good rental rates, and we get a full service, which my technicians will come out daily to your location and service it, so it will be fully stocked every day. Make sure it's clean and neat. So give me a call, 678-287-9123. That's MJ for a free consultation, 678-287-9123 for a free consultation. All the other social medias and all that, I will let you know that when you call me. All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, y'all. So I want to shout out again to WadeWorksStudios. If you guys have any direct messages, topics that you want to talk about, direct message me. And I will put it on the list of topics to talk about. And in honor of the holidays coming in, y'all look forward to the podcast coming up with friends and family, because at this time of the year, we normally get with our friends and family, and and some of us probably will not be traveling, but our friends are our family in some instances. So we're gonna just kind of pull those people close to us that are around us in our immediate circles, and we will be having a friends and family podcast special. Will be some folks that have known me for a lot of years, some people who have become my friends recently. So that ought to be a lot of fun. And also the event, if you are tuned in today, there's a November 14th event at Cat's Cafe where we're going to have karaoke. We're going to sing some Christmas songs in honor of the holidays coming in. And we're going to have some great conversations with some phenomenal people.
Awesome.
So, I thank you for everybody that came in today and everybody that logged on or tuned in or listening. It goes down in the DM, y'all.
Hey.
So
Goes
y'all
down
check
in
me
the
out.
DM.
Dynasty DM, Dynasty Smith on Facebook, DYNASTI 55 on Instagram, and I will see y'all later.